Handling failure. That sudden, sharp loss of confidence when you're trying to learn something new.
Right. It's a huge hurdle for so many people mastering a new skill.
Yeah, exactly. Whether you're, I don't know, tackling advanced physics or you just completely mess up your tenses in a new language during, like, a stressful meeting.
Oh, yeah, that pit in your stomach feeling.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it can stop your growth cold.
Yeah.
So our mission today is laser focused. We're pulling out 3 specific, actionable mental shifts from this research.
Shifts designed to help learners bounce back quickly.
Right. Bounce back and, crucially, stay confident.
Okay.
So to set the scene a bit, the material talks about that moment, that universal feeling when you just hit a wall.
Yeah.
Maybe you forgot a keyword, maybe you bombed a presentation, and we immediately take that stumble as proof.
Proof that we're just not cut out for it, that we're
Definitely.
incapable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what's really fascinating, and you pointed this out before we started, is how the sources just redefine the whole problem right away.
They really do. They sort of strip away the moral weight of the mistake. It insists those stumbles, that missed step, that messed up grammar, they aren't really failures in that heavy judgmental sense.
So what are they then?
They're just data. Simple as that.
Just data points. Wow. Okay, that alone feels pretty powerful.
It is. Because it takes the judgment right out, the self-blame.
We treat mistakes like they're, I don't know, character flaws.
Exactly. But the sources, they treat them like clinical input. Just information for the next try.
Okay, so if you can embrace that idea,
Mm-hmm.
mistakes are just navigational tools maybe, showing you where the turbulence is.
Precisely. Then you can move straight into the first mental shift. And this one's critical. It's all about protecting your identity, really.
Protecting it from what? The emotional fallout?
Yeah, from the fallout of the data you just gathered.
Okay, let's unpack this first shift. We could call it, maybe, the linguistic shield.
I like that. A shield.
Because the material says the most destructive thing we do is let that immediate sort of emotional hit turn into this global definition of who we are. That inner voice starts whispering, right? I am bad at this. Or even worse, I always fail.
And that's the trap, that internal monologue. That's the real source of the confidence drain.
So we take one specific thing, one attempt that didn't work.
And we blow it up, generalize it, make it about our entire character, our whole ability.
So the change needed is specific, like being really precise.
Almost forensic, yeah.
Yeah?
You have to immediately shift your internal language, go from talking about who you are.
Like, I am a failure.
Right. Shift from that to just a specific observation about what happened.
Okay, so instead of I am a failure, I need to consciously think something like, okay, that specific approach didn't work out as planned.
Exactly. Or that yielded an unexpected result. It might sound a bit clinical, yeah.
A little detached.
But that detachment is the shield. It creates that necessary distance.
And the sources mention ways to make that shield even stronger.
They do. They emphasize using language that's tentative or maybe future-focused, so it doesn't feel so final.
Okay. So if I catch myself spiraling downwards.
You actively use phrases like, okay, I learned exactly what not to do next time. Or, and this one's simple but powerful,
What's that?
the word yet.
Yet.
Yeah, I haven't mastered this yet. It's incredibly effective.
Why yet? What does that do?
It maintains your resilience. Because by saying yet, you've basically already scheduled the next attempt in your mind.
Yeah.
Linguistically, anyway.
Huh. So you're signaling to your brain, this isn't over, it's temporary.
Exactly. You protect your core belief system. You make sure that one data point doesn't, wreck the whole research project.
And the research project is me.
Yeah,
My learning process.
you got it.
Okay, that idea of linguistically scheduling the next attempt, that flows really nicely into the second shift, doesn't it?
It does.
If shift 1 protects the foundation, sets up those linguistic boundaries, shift 2 sounds like it's about actively rebuilding.
Right. We're talking about building confidence now. Not like it's some magical trait you're born with.
But like a muscle, something you exercise intentionally.
Precisely. And here we move from, let's say, psychological defense to active offense.
Okay.
But there's a key point here, a common mistake the sources warn about.
Would you?
Trying to jump straight to this positive self-talk without doing shift 1 first.
So you can't just slap positivity onto a feeling of total failure.
Well, you can try, but your brain will likely reject it. If you've just labeled yourself a global failure, telling yourself, I'm amazing and smart right after, it feels like nonsense.
Yeah.
A contradiction.
Right. So you have to clear away that global negativity, that self-judgment first.
Clean the slate.
And then the positive stuff can actually land. It has somewhere to stick.
Absolutely. So once the stage is set, then you engage in conscious, active recall.
Not just hoping you'll feel better.
No, you actively pull up evidence, tangible proof of your capability. Because confidence, ultimately, is rooted in competence.
And competence is proven by?
Your history. Your track record.
Okay, so tangible proof. Like presenting your own CV to that doubting voice inside.
That's a great analogy, yeah. You recall finishing that marathon you trained so hard for.
Or landing that job that felt like a real stretch at the time.
Exactly. Or completing that tough project, the one you initially thought, there's no way I can do this. You remind yourself of the process you used back then, how you succeeded before.
Got it. And that evidence, that recall, then fuels the specific self-talk the material suggests.
Yes. And it needs to be targeted, not just vague positivity like, I'm great.
More like specific rebuttals to the doubt.
Exactly. Things like, okay, I have the skills to figure this out. Or, this one's incredibly important. I've overcome bigger hurdles before, so I know I can navigate this one.
Why is that one so important, the bigger hurdles part?
Because it stops the current struggle from feeling unique or, insurmountable. It puts it in perspective.
Okay, that makes sense. And there was something else in the sources about how you say this stuff to yourself, like the sound of it?
Yeah, this is a great little insight. It's not just the words, it's the delivery. The tone matters.
How so?
Well, pay attention to the tone when people, successfully give themselves this kind of pep talk. Or when you hear successful people talking about overcoming obstacles.
Okay.
The tone is usually assertive. It's upbeat. It's delivered at a firm, steady pace.
Not hesitant or doubtful?
No. That confident sound actually reinforces the message. It helps solidify the habit, almost like an auditory habit loop.
So listen to how resilient people talk about resilience.
And mimic that tone internally, not just what they say, but how they say it.
Okay, so shift 1. Protect the identity with specific temporary language, the linguistic shield. Shift 2. Build the confidence muscle by recalling past successes, using specific self-talk with an assertive internal tone.
Right.
Which brings us to the really pragmatic part. Shift 3. This is all about immediate action.
Yeah, moving from passive worry to active doing.
Because, as the material clearly states, worrying doesn't actually fix anything, does it?
Nope. It just keeps you stuck. Action is the fastest way back to feeling capable, back to restoring a sense of control.
Ah, that sense of control, that feels key.
It's the primary goal of Shift 3, really. Failure makes us feel helpless, powerless.
Totally.
So the fastest way to counteract that helplessness is, well, it's a bit counterintuitive. The action plan doesn't have to solve the whole problem at once.
It doesn't.
No. It just needs to be a tiny, specific step, something that guarantees an immediate, small success.
Okay, this is critical, isn't it? Because if the plan is too big, like, I'll study harder for the next 2 hours.
Right. That can feel overwhelming, abstract. It might even dig the confidence hole deeper if you don't immediately see results.
You need those micro successes, little wins to break the negative pattern.
Precisely. So let's go back to that example you used earlier. The failure data point was, I couldn't understand that complex monologue in the English podcast.
Okay.
A generalized, probably unhelpful plan would be, okay, I'll just listen to the whole podcast 3 more times and, try harder.
Which is terrible, right? Because you're setting yourself up to potentially fail again in the exact same way.
Yes, it confirms the feeling of inadequacy. It's like throwing yourself back in the deep end without a clear strategy.
So what does a good confidence-restoring action plan look like in that case?
It isolates the variable. You gathered the data point, maybe it was the rhythm, maybe specific vocabulary that tripped you up. Your action has to target only that tiny element.
Okay, give me an example.
For instance, okay, for the next 5 minutes, I will listen to just the first 30 seconds of that monologue. And I'll listen 5 times, but I'm only focusing on the pauses and the intonation. Nothing else.
Wow. Just the rhythm, just for 30 seconds, repeatedly.
Yeah. See how specific and small that is.
Incredibly small. You're almost guaranteeing success on that micro task.
Exactly. And that immediate verifiable success, that changes your internal identity right then and there.
How so?
Well, you instantly move from being the person who failed the monologue
To being
the person who successfully analyzed or even mastered the rhythm of the first 30 seconds.
Ah, you stop being the victim of the failure, the victim of the data point.
And you become the solver of the micro problem you identified from that data point.
That shift in mental identity.
Yeah.
That's the reset. That's what boosts the confidence back up.
Because you're doing something proactive with the knowledge you just gained from the supposed failure. #tag outro.
Wow. Okay, this has been a really, really insightful deep dive into the psychology of, well, bouncing back. Resilience?
It's crucial stuff for anyone learning anything.
Absolutely. So we started by redefining failure. It's not judgment, it's just data.
Just input.
Then we pulled out those three powerful shifts.
Oh.
First, deploy the linguistic shield. Reframe the story using specific, temporary language. Avoid those global statements.
Protect your identity.
Second, actively practice positive self-talk. But do it based on real evidence. Recall those tangible past successes. And deliver it with that firm, assertive internal tone.
Build the muscle. Feed it proof.
And finally, shift 3. Immediately. Create an action plan. But make it small, make it specific, something that guarantees a quick win and restores that sense of control.
Move from worry to immediate, focused action.
Yeah. The central message running through all this seems really clear.
Failure is basically mandatory for growth, right? You can't avoid it if you're actually exploring and learning. It's part of the process.
Right.
But the loss of confidence that usually comes with it, that's entirely optional.
Optional. I like that.
Yeah. By using these 3 shifts, maybe all together, you can make sure that every stumble, every bit of data you collect, it just becomes fuel. Yeah. Momentum for the very next step. Be kind to yourself and take that small step.
Unstoppable growth, potentially. Okay, so if mistakes truly are just data points, here's a final thought for you, our listener, to maybe chew on this week.
Okay.
Building on this idea that knowledge is the real gift inside any setback. If you look back at your most recent setback, whatever it was, and analyze it clinically, like data, what single, maybe surprising piece of data did you gain? Not about the task, but about your own personal learning process, something you genuinely didn't know before.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Don't just focus on the sting of it. Look for the pure, maybe unexpected knowledge it gave you about how you learn.
What did the data reveal?
Exactly. Thank you for trusting us with your sources again. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, great stuff.
We'll catch you next time on The Deep Dive.